All right, we are going to do a really cool background technique using our plaid stencil. So I've got this based with number 22 color, and I'm going to use number 27, which is white, on top of it. And I'm going to show you how to kind of make a little bit of a textured background. I'm going to use the dome brush, and then we're going to work. See, I want this to be right at the edge, so I'm going to position it manually. You do want to be careful that you keep your lines straight, so make sure that you are lining things up, because if it starts walking, it will be obvious. I'm going to tape in 2 spots, and then I'm going to load my paint, offload about 5 times, and then just swirl on the plaid. And we always encourage peeking because then you can tell how your progress is doing. So let's take a look at this together. And, okay, I can barely tell that anything's happening, so I think I'm gonna go over it a second time. Do it a little bit stronger. 2 dusty coats is better than 1 in this case. Okay, let's take a peek again. And I can barely see the upper. So I'm going to give it 1 more coat, just like I promised. Part of that is because it's such a skinny little detail. Sometimes you can make lines stronger by stippling instead of swirling. So if I want to increase the color, I can give it a little stipple. Okay, let's peek again. And now I can see it. Perfect. Okay, so now we'll reposition our stencil, and rather than trying to line up these 2 bits to these big blocks right here, I'm going to go ahead and layer my stencil over something I've already painted. Get my head in the way here. And then make sure that my stencil detail at the bottom is even. And then that will help me line it up perfectly. All right, I have my pattern on the background. It's so nice and subtle. It's just a little pop, little dab-a-do-ya. Now I've got my stencil, and what you want to do when you're going to be mixing stencils is you want to do a dry layout. Okay, so you do this before you do anything else. You say, oh, I think I want my stencil here, approximately. I'm going to dissect my tea towel stripes. So I'll just take my scissor, okay, so I've got these all separated out. I think I'm gonna want this guy. And it's gonna go right here at the beginning. And so now I play. I want this kind of lower, so I want some white space over here. And then I want it kind of to balance my white space over there. So I think right around there. Okay, so that's what I've got going on. So now I'll secure with some tape. And with the tea towel stripes, if you're going to do the big long tea towel stripe, then it's a very good idea to secure your stencil with some adhesive on the back. Today I'm not going to do that because I'm doing such a short section of it. And I'm really hoping that's not going to bite me by doing it that way. And I think that looks pretty darn straight. And so what we'll do here, I'm going to take my multi-masker, and I'm going to use my multi-masker as a brace for these little wiggly lines, okay? And then we're going to take a jumbo dauber, because this has got a nice little mushy space for It'll just mush right on top and really just fill them in. And you're going to use super straight up and down motion, or you're going to use the adhesive on the back of your stencil. So I want a navy blue, so I'm going to get out number 72. And I want it to be just a little bit lighter, almost a little denim-y. So I'm going to mix a little bit of my 22 in there. And so we'll take this and see what that does for us. Yeah. Clean off my palette knife. Always clean your palette knife right away. Okay, now we're gonna see how crazy I am not to adhesive this. Go up and down, my jumbo dauber, and then I always am going to blot off on the paper towel. And now we go here and hold those down. We'll move that up and hold those down. Made myself a little bit of a line. Whenever you daub or stencil against a line like this, then it's going to leave a line, and that is going to be harder to blend in. So now, while it's wet, I want to go in and just really diffuse it. Okay. And now we'll continue on, and I will try not to go all the way to my multi-masker. Now I want to go into a dark gray color that's going to be on our lettering, which I'm going to mix with number 12 and number 13. So we'll just mix those two together. I wanted a gray that was brown. You know how that you want just that tone, and I didn't have a perfect match, so mixing is always a good idea. And I think I do want a little bit of black in there for darkness. And that is number 28. These numbers refer to our color chart. We have a DecoArt and Sherwin-Williams color coordinating chart, and that is a really good tool to have if you want to paint along in the palette that we're painting in. The black will cool things back off again, so to make it like a colder color, I don't think that's going to be a problem. And I want to do those center two lines in this color, and I think I'm going to switch to an ink sweeper. And it is the same as the jumbo dauber, but it's just a different shape. These last and last forever, so you don't have to worry about throwing things away, and they're a wonderful tool. Okay, so straight up the middle. And because my blue has already darkened my line, I'm not going to have to worry about covering with this color. It'll cover very easily. It's been like pre-primed, if you will. If I were doing this one more time, I probably would go ahead and do the adhesive on the back. I think this has been more stressful than I wanted it to be. So if you ghost on something, just go back with your color and patch it up. Fingerprints, because I stuck my pinky right on there and pulled the paint right off. Okay, this is a lesson in what not to do when you're doing your tea towel. So just pull that straight up and ta-da! Beautiful stripes, lovely, lovely. Make sure you put your daubers and your brushes in water. And now I'm gonna hit this with a blow dryer, and then we'll be ready to add our letters. Okay, I have a little teeny bit of bleeding under. This is where I'm like, yep, I definitely would have used the adhesive the next time. I can just give that a little bit of a sand. Most of the time, tea towel detail is woven. And so that'll just add to that effect. And I think we're gonna have us a happy little accident there. Perfect. We're gonna go with that gray mix. And we're gonna swirl. If you notice my board has a little bit of spring to it, that is because it's not completely dry. So when you base a board, it's a good idea, if you can, to base it the day before and let it dry completely. There's moisture that's stuck under the dry top layer, and that makes the board bow. But once it dries, it flattens straight back out again. Okay, I think we are good here. Let me peek. Perfect. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Wonderful. Okay, now I'm going to hit this with the blow dryer, and we're going to sand it. We are going to use our 60 grit sandpaper and do the same kind of treatment to our letters. And then continue the sanding all the way up. Just for even texture. And that actually increases the look of like the weave, if you will, of that background. Okay, I say ta-da. I hope you've enjoyed this background lesson, and we'll see you in the next video.